podcast with Jinx Monsoon about Futurama, and so now
All right.
Futurama is just playing in my head.
Oh, that's
Yes, we
epic.
are.
Yeah.
So we're live
Okay,
on.
looks like we're live. Yeah. Hi
Hello,
everyone.
people.
Welcome to Not Futurama, Star Wars Rebels.
So glad you guys could join us today. We're going to get into some really awesome episodes. Some of my favorites in season 1, actually. So I think they kind of showcase the kinds of where the crew is going to go next.
Yeah, these are some fun ones. I really love Idiots Array, because in some ways it feels like a stupid episode, and then it turns out to be like serious as a heart attack, the way Rebels will sometimes do you. And it ties back to season 4. They play Sabak, like Billy D returns.
Billy D.
Which was like stunt casting at the time, until we find out that like literally everyone is going to be in this show. It's like, prepare yourself. He's one of many. But this was season 1, so we didn't know. Like,
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was so much fun. Puffer pigs. Can't get enough of the puffer pigs.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Jen. Hi, Sarah. So good to see you guys.
Hello. Happy Monday.
So, yeah, it's going to be a fun week, and we're going to have a lot to talk about. So,
and we're in the countdown of Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
The countdown to Tales of the Jedi. The ever progressing Andor. There's
that last week's episode.
God, we got to talk about that. So I was away this weekend, and I was supposed to have listened to the show, the Thursday show that you were a part of on the drive down, and we ended up listening to this Futurama podcast I was telling you about. So I haven't watched Thursday's show yet, so I feel so behind. So I'm gonna listen to it tomorrow on my drive home from work. But I don't want you to repeat anything from like the Thursday show. But for anyone who might not, like, you can hit the highlights, like tell people, the big Andor discuss. As we start watching our Rebel stuff, because I do want to hear some of the thoughts coming out of that group.
Oh yeah, it was a very like tense. It was the perfect bank heist episode, and it was literally serious as a heart attack in Star Wars, and it's something we haven't seen yet. So it was
Heavy
hard to
death
watch.
toll too.
Yeah, especially
I got something right. Yeah,
you did.
I was correct. I almost feel like, are we in spoiler enough time? We have to be, right? Like, that guy didn't have, or the brother didn't have a farm. He might not even have a brother.
That brother didn't even exist.
I was right. I told you. I was like, Andor's asking what kind of farm it is. I was like, you can't flood a tree farm. So that was my clue. Of course, he turned out to be a jerk, and he tried to steal all the money.
And Nemec.
Yeah.
Nemec.
I like his.
That was hard to watch.
I knew it was coming, so it was like, but they looked like they were going to escape, and then it was the currency that crushed him, and I was like, oh, there's some metaphor there. The handing off of the manifesto to Andor, I thought was very cool.
I wonder how that will shape him for the rest of the rebellion, like and how he believes things, and because obviously he's going to have some guilt about the whole thing, but.
Yeah, you got to have survivor's guilt after something like that. And it seemed like he was running off to just take his money and leave, like Han Solo does in A New Hope. But we all know he returns. He makes a triumphant return and shoots Vader's ass out of the trench run.
Out of the trench.
And saves the day. Andor will do something similar, I think. Hi, Sherry. We got Sarah, Sherry, Jen. Jeff is here. Sarah, I thought I thought he was gonna make it. The body count was higher than I expected on both sides. Actually, they killed more Imperials than I thought. Question for the group as we start watching the Rebels. Maybe this goes in the comments. Did the lady holding all the hostages, who said she wouldn't kill everyone, did she definitely kill everyone? I think she did. I think there's at least 15 more dead bodies that we just weren't shown, including that little kid.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like rage.
Hey, Michael.
And also, we don't know if Cinta's okay, too, because she was left at the table with them on the Imperial compound, right? When they took off.
Was she put on an Imperial uniform and started walking away? And the thought is like she's going to temporarily blend or run off with the rest of the worshipers. Either way, she's free enough, is my thought. Like she'll find her way out of there, and I'm sure there's like a transport off planet. But for her to escape and people not recognize her face and her end up on like the galaxy's most wanted, would she need to kill them? Michael's saying no. I don't think she killed them. I think she did. I think she secretly did, but I don't think she had. She might not have had to. I don't know. I'm on the fence, but I think yes.
Yeah, she's pretty.
I shouldn't feel happy about that.
A girl has no name.
Meanwhile, we are going to do things a little differently this week. We are going to jump right into the episodes and talk through and and we're going to try to end on time, guys. And it's yet to happen.
It's a cripple miracle.
Yeah,
so we'll see what happens.
Gather up your Disney Plus machine. We are in season 1. We're still doing Star Wars Rebels season 1, the way that we are following along with Andor, the beginnings of the rebellion. We're making our way through. We're already nearing the end of season 1. We're at Gathering Forces, which is episode 9. So find on your D Plus machine, season 1, episode 9, Gathering Forces. Do you want to do the countdown?
Sure. All right. So we'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play.
Sarah's correct. Not everyone's a Sith, but we saw a lot of bad people mixed in on both sides, right? Although I will say something that stuck out at me with the Imperials was the one Imperial who was like, just let the boy go. And he was like very willing to do like whatever they wanted, like just don't kill that kid. So it's what I mean about, like I always talk about, people join the Imperials with the thought that they work for the government, they work for the military, they think they're on the right side. They might not even know the many atrocities that happen. And he was like, hey, don't kill this kid. Let's not cross those lines, even if he was willing to kill other people. And then that guy got shot by one of the ladies as she came down the ladder, very unexpectedly. I didn't know how that standoff was going to go, and then it was like a rogue blast coming from the ladies who arrived. So
yeah, she wasn't even paying attention. She just saw Imperial uniform by Chopper has been fried. They're in trouble. The Inquisitor is on the chase, and we got Tebow.
Yeah, so we should point out that
Sibo.
Sibo, yes, I do it all the time too. This is actually like part 2 of Empire Day, essentially, which we watched way back toward the beginning of our show. I can't believe it's this long ago.
4th of July.
July 4th.
Yeah.
It was our Independence Day extravaganza. We've done so many holidays already. We've made it through July 4th.
Yeah.
We're coming up on Halloween. I'm sure we'll have a Christmas extravaganza.
We'll wear red and green Rebels Revisited.
Exactly, the red and green Rebel shirts. By the show everyone your green shirt. I love your shirt.
Oh yeah, it's Hera, our girl. So I'm trying to think where I ordered this. It was pretty awesome artist on Instagram.
It's very cool. Yeah, we'll drop it in the chat for everyone. Yeah, so if you're interested in buying someone else's merch, since we promote ours enough, but ours is still available. I don't know if the T public sale is still running, but congratulations to the winners from last week. Your t-shirts have been ordered. And from what I understand, they've already shipped, so they should be there next week. I'm wearing just like a standard Rebels season 1, which is apropos. We're nearing the end of season 1. This is that weird picture that doesn't have Hera for some reason, which is really strange. And since you have the Hera shirt, it is nicely balanced.
Oh yeah, it's a Padawan Kasari art. So it's
very cool.
I will drop the link in the chat.
Got stuff already.
Oh wow!
Oh, Sarah, look at that! Oh, how nice! Yay!
So cool.
Sarah, what do you think? You'll have to drop a picture in the chat if you feel comfortable modeling for the crew. Don't feel pressured. But I'm really loving the way the shirts turned out. Like Jeff and Dave and Spencer and everyone did such a nice job.
Right?
Yeah. Like the whole store is really good for Virtual Cantina. There's another thing in the Facebook group, if you've been watching, with the hockey jersey. I'm tempted to get one of those.
I want one.
And well, you know what I've noticed? I need more non-t-shirty kind of things. Like I need more long sleeve stuff, and I need more like wearable stuff, because now I'm drowning in costumes, and I'm drowning in like old stuff that I've had for a while now. So
yeah. Update your nerdy
Okay, Sarah will hold up the shirt. Good enough. So this episode, by the way, we fall off track. We watched Empire Day, which we loved, and we learned like the secret of Ezra's parents. Basically, we got his entire backstory, and it was
helmet.
during the Empire Day, sort of their 4th of July Independence Day, the Unification Day is what Empire Day is. Their celebrations, and we get the tragic history of the Bridgers. And what happened to them, and now they're on the run. Sibo has that implant, much like Lobot, and he's been able to tap into intelligence in the Imperial like computer systems. So he's a wanted man. So the Empire's chasing him down, which is why we just saw the Inquisitor in a TIE fighter. Which we don't often see. Like he was literally like manning that mission himself.
Danuo Novo needs to make that helmet. That helmet is crazy cool.
It is a good helmet. There's so many good helmets. I'm running out of room on my line plan for helmets. Like I really want to get to more costumes because there's only so many we can make. But that's a good one. If we're gonna do animation,
and the Callus
like
helmet.
Start with.
The Callus one is really cool too. I've seen a few cosplayers make their own, and I'm just like, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, there's so many just excellent costumes across the board. I'm curious to see what else we're going to see in the Andor show. Because right now I'm obsessed with everyone who's an ISB member. Like that.
And
like
the pre-more cops, like you could totally pull off a pre-more cop.
That's so my gig too, with the extra like pipetting and all that shit. Like that would be really fun.
It's like this guy's taking a cue right from Mark's wardrobe right now.
Yeah.
I love that helmet too. Just
That's
give me all the helmets.
This tension with Ezra and Kanan has been going on all season. It's the struggle of selfishness versus selflessness. Ezra's feeling really betrayed at the moment. His parents are dead or missing or whatever, and no one helped his parents. So why should he be helping other people? This like sort of this for that kind of attitude. He's still outgrowing that.
And Sabine gets it. Maybe he did this to help you, to make up for what happened to your parents. The Empire can track the ghost. Oh, yes, they can. Check the outside.
Yeah, they've got a tracker on them. Don't they have to detach in hyperspace? Does that happen?
Yeah.
It's attached to the Phantom, I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
Chopper lives.
Oh,
I need that. Ninja.
What's the timestamp? Can you see the timestamp?
Yeah.
Where are we?
12:20-ish.
6:06.
Wait. Oh, it's 12:20. What am I doing? Oh yeah, you're right.
6:15,
6:10-ish. Mike. I was like, there's no way we're 12 minutes in already. Maybe the Zoom is 12 minutes in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's about it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they attached it to the Phantom. The two-piece ship serves a lot of good purposes. Not only is it a great design, I think it's very cool looking. It gives them the ability to like break off into separate missions and then do things like this. Like this is really neat.
I just love the design of it. It's kind of like, how the Falcon had that escape pod like shuttle in the front of it, and then it just doesn't anymore. It's kind of like its own way of making up for that.
Yeah, this ship definitely takes inspiration from the Falcon. And I think just it's close enough that you could feel like it was made in the same universe, maybe even by the same manufacturer, but just changed enough. Because it also, like the Falcon, feels like a home. Like people really live on the Falcon. Lots of other ships are very like usage driven. Like you get in a TIE to go shoot at enemies, you get in an X-Wing to run missions. Like they live on this thing. This is like a camper, right? Like it's like living in a camper, as opposed to the car.
It literally is.
Commute to work.
Look at that galley. Yeah. It's a
we got a whole kitchen.
Hope they have a full bathroom.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Oh, the refresher. We see the refresher. We watched that episode recently, didn't we? With AP5 walking in on Wedge as Wedge is trying to pee. We saw peeing in the last episode too in Andor.
Andor,
like,
Like
I was like, what's happening here? Yeah, I was like, there was Andor, they were saying, is a very adult Star Wars, in all the ways that like you wouldn't expect it to be. It's like a
Oh
little
yeah.
bit slow, it's a little bit talky, someone's peeing. They're all really just like really rude to people, and
Yeah.
really dismissive of their values. And that's sort of how like the real world operates. It's not all like pew pew pew, you know. And it's like kind of sad but true. I love it. I'm obsessed with Andor, and it's my favorite project, more so than all of the things that have come prior other than Mando season 1. Like it's right there, and I haven't
For the live action,
chosen which one. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, nothing will compare to Rebels, by the way. That's always gonna hold my gold level. Now that especially that I'm like so deep into it.
Oh yeah, because there's obviously you have the OT, but there's no freestanding piece of Star Wars that interconnects to everything like this does. And
Yeah.
not even Clone Wars, really.
Which is crazy because it's like
Yeah.
deliberately made as a way to connect 2 and 3 and then push to the other parts of the franchise.
Mhm.
Clone Wars is interestingly a lot of standalone stories. Oh wow, this is beautiful
This
and
is
horrifying,
crazy. Oh my God.
which is kind of
And
like the Eye in Andor. Like
yeah, that was
that was so well
crazy.
done. It's one of those moments where it's like, oh, live action can get it right, because like imagine what that would have looked like in
It's true.
animation. I think it would have been even better. But this was animated special effects in a live action show that really delivered, in Andor.
Totally. Oh yay, asteroid field.
Oh yeah, the Razor Crest feels like a house too. Yeah, that's 3 ships, 3 of my favorite ships. I love the Razor Crest.
Yeah,
Movement in the
Constantine too.
Force. Oh, this jerk. I forgot we meet him in season 1, honestly, because he's one of those like idiots that's like all over season 2. Like I feel like we meet Commander Sato and then we meet his like buffoon match with him, and, because they're like
Yeah,
constantly in the same sort of storylines. And
yeah.
it's like Commander Sato is like super smart and knows how to get things done, and then this idiot is like messing up everything. Thank God he's on the Imperial side, because if he were working for the rebels, we would have lost that war a long time ago.
So we're back here. We're back here on the asteroid, and where Hera and Sabine were last week, and he's telling Ezra he needs to connect with these creatures, and he's afraid. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
And we were thinking about this last week with like the tapping into the dark side, and we were both waiting for that moment because I forgot it was in this
'Cause we
episode.
forgot it's this
So
one.
we had that same thought. I don't know if anyone else last week in the chat were thinking, oh, photos aren't allowed in the chat. All right, we'll post something, and you can post something in the group. We'll
Yeah.
share it, or whatever. Yeah, and Michael, I am so behind on all things High Republic. I watch like the
Same.
recap videos from like Star Wars Explained and everyone, because I'm actually like drowning in work right now. It is horrifying with coming off of New York Comic Con, and it's spooky season, so it's Halloween season, and we're planning for next year, and New Novo is always on, and we're getting ready for year end. It just feels like this is the craziest time of year. Like every day, and then every day someone asks me for a costume. There's this like constant onslaught of like, oh, some executive somewhere needs like this Paw Patrol thing, and I was like, oh my god, like that happens on a semi-regular basis.
Yeah.
Which is fine. We're supposed to handle that stuff, but it, like, when you're like deep in a project and you're just like distracted by tasks. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I'm just like the taskmaster. I'm the goalie, and they're just like kicking balls at me all day, and I'm just like swat, 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 swat. It's a little of that. So once I
You
get
are
out of
gonna
the goal,
deserve the vacation when this is over.
yeah. And what's happening is like I took a day last week, to go to Baltimore. I did a little 3-day weekend, a little haunted house, a little bit of that, and then going to Rhode Island Comic Con. But we're not taking any significant time off until Jason's mom comes to visit around Christmas time, and it'll just be even that'll just be a few days. How are things going in Massachusetts? Like you're getting settled in, opening boxes.
I have no place to put anything right now. Like I have so many like statues and Hot Toys figures. Like I collect Hot Toys, Star Wars and Marvel, along with like whatever Keanu Reeves figure they can throw at me because reasons. So I need like shelving and stuff like that. So I have to hit IKEA hard and just completely redo everything. I finally got my clothes put away, but it's still like
That's
a
the
lot
important
to do.
part. Yeah.
And now I just have to like finish. I've got a masterwork finally came in.
Oh, nice.
They accidentally sent it to my old apartment, so I had to have Joe send it here. So I got it, and I'm gonna try to get that done in the next couple weeks, in between going to
make those
Orlando.
a priority. That's money and exposure.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can
And
put up the
then,
statues at any point. You know, once it's snowy and gross in Massachusetts and there's 7 feet
and
of
I'm
snow and
stuck
you
in my
can't leave the
house.
apartment,
Yes.
that's the time. If you had already bought the shelves, like you can then start doing the decor.
Oh,
So
thanks,
yeah,
Sarah.
clothes are most
Yeah.
important. Yeah, all that stuff.
My closet is
Yeah,
done. My
moving's
clothes are
terrible.
away. Just have to get everything else done, and then finish my celebration Europe concepts, which I don't know. The more I just think about it, the more I'm just like, am I gonna get in? Like, is it's gonna be worth the expense? So I'll try it and see.
I don't know what the application process is like to give you like a thumbs up, thumbs down on that.
I don't
But I
even
also know
know.
that
Like,
fewer
people who've
people
done
are
it for
probably
years.
planning to apply though because it's overseas. And if
Yeah.
they, they might not be able to go because they wouldn't pay for you to attend,
No,
like if you
everything
get
would be
in.
out of pocket.
So
So
yeah, so that's going to deter a lot of people. So if the pool of attendees is smaller, if that factors into your decision and you have the time and the energy to do it, I would recommend to do it. I'd love to see
okay.
your stuff there. You do great stuff. But I also
Thanks.
understand it's a time commitment and
Yeah,
like,
and also like getting the passports and having money for airlines and hotel room and things like that, food, um,
it's a thing. Yeah.
printing,
There's
bringing everything
we
with
should
me.
talk about this as a total VCN family because I assume there's going to be people who want to travel from America to Europe, especially women, not alone, with friends who know each other, who have maybe met in other places.
Yeah,
Like I met a lot of people at Rhode Island who now that I've met them a couple times in real life, like I trust that they're normal people. I'm not saying I would jump in a hotel room immediately with them, but like
yeah,
I think that this group, yes. Like if Jeff called me tomorrow and was like, "Hey, come meet me somewhere," I'll go share a hotel room with Jeff. Like we're friends. We've known each other for months now. Like that is something that
yeah,
maybe there's that in the VCN group.
yeah,
I'm,
maybe.
is that something that a question in the chat, is that something we should look into with like people like roommating and potentially traveling
Yeah,
together? Like if you're coming from the New York area, you could take the same flight from LaGuardia or JFK or whatever it is, or coordinate hotels or travel or just like, who's your buddy overseas? Is
yeah,
that something
exactly.
that's useful?
We have
That'd
a
be
group
interesting.
called O by Oneself that's part of the VCN.
Oh, there we go.
I put the link in the chat. It's basically just for people that are doing things solo.
Oh, very
And
cool.
you can
I'll have to
connect
look
with
into that.
other people as well that are like
Very
minded,
cool.
going to
Yeah,
similar events.
That's great. I think we could use that, especially as random people are coming from all over the country. I know international travel is very stressful.
yeah.
Um,
I got to apply for my passport renewal as soon as possible too, because that couldn't
we
hurt.
just did ours over the summer because thought we were going to go to Canada for Pride and we ended up not going, but our passports were right on the cusp of expiring. It was a whole thing. And then monkeypox hit. Pick a problem, right? Like it was I still haven't gotten my flu shot because I haven't gotten my COVID shot. Because I had to get my monkeypox part 2 shot. Like it's been this like
You're a
I've
medicine
got to get the
cabinet
COVID
right now.
shot. I know. I was telling someone I was booked through Christmas.
Mhm.
It's stupid, but necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everyone, think about passport renewal as Ashley saying it out loud. Like I'm sure they talk about this on like the news desk and everywhere else. Like passport
Yeah.
renewal, do not wait till the last minute on that. It does usually take like a couple months.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, this is one of those moments where they always tempt you with the dark side in all of the shows and all of the movies, and Ezra easily taps into animals and the dark side, and so this is one of those moments where it's like it's really scary and it's super well done.
Yeah.
This could have been on our spooky season watch list.
He thinks he's so funny. Well, guess what? That close up on Ezra's eyes, it's like, oh, you're in it now, buddy.
I didn't realize it was like a giant one of these, right?
Yeah,
Like we're
it's like the
seeing all the little
queen.
baby ones. Yeah. Very Queen and Alien, and the little aliens.
Even the queen scaring the little ones away, like, do not mess.
Yeah. And Ezra's controlling this thing. This is horrifying. Oh my god. I will say if I had that power, I would absolutely use it. Like the dark side's so fun. Like this is great.
Oh, there's one.
All right, we got a lightsaber back. That's important. Kanan was pretty easily bested by the Inquisitor, and there's something in Rebels Recon where they talk about how it's a combination of the Inquisitor just being at the top of his game and being a really good Jedi hunter, but also that Kanan never went through his full Jedi training. He's not a Jedi Master.
And he was also cut off from the Force for a long time.
Yes, for a long time.
So as we can see, Kenobi... Yeah, that's a problem.
You see what it does to you. Obi-Wan really was at his worst when we
It's like a muscle that you don't use and you just atrophies. So
anyone who's exercised regularly and then stopped for like an injury or something or put on weight through COVID, like you know it, you feel it. Like my cardio will never come back to where it was. And yeah, it's a muscle. And
I will make it come back. Like I see pictures of me like before COVID and I'm like, I will get back there. Where's my sister?
See, this is smart. They blew up his ship. That doesn't happen enough in Star Wars. Usually they're aiming at the bad guy. It's like aim at the ship.
No, take out where they need to get off the planet. Make things difficult for them. One less ship is good. Right.
Sarah, you're right. He was never knighted. They addressed that in season 2. Yes, season 2. They deal with that because he is an imperfect teacher for a very imperfect student, which is why I think the two of them blend so well. Like Kanan's figuring this out as much as Ezra is. I remember earlier in the series when he's trying to unravel the words of Yoda, and he has to like sort of figure it out himself as opposed to just like trust the mantra that everyone else goes with at the temple. And it actually gives him some interesting insight. Like I like Kanan's teaching style because it's more real world grounded versus like the dogma that you get from the temple.
Yeah, you don't need all those sacred Jedi texts. Just real world experience will get you even further.
You heard Yoda, a page turner they were not. So, it makes me think, did Luke not read everything in there either? He's so like high and like full of himself. He's like, oh, the texts. And it's like
you've had years on this planet with nothing else going terrible. On.
Yeah.
And he's just like, nope, back in the tree, put them in the tree.
Yeah, there's something to Kanan's guild. The idea, even like the Survivors Guild and Master Depa Billaba, obviously gave her life for him, which is the correct way it's supposed to go. Like masters are supposed to sacrifice themselves for their Padawan. It works that way, but you still don't feel like he couldn't have helped. But I do think that he carries that pain with him, and not just Master Billaba, but like plenty of other people that Kanan wasn't capable of helping, or maybe people who were hurt when he was in hiding.
I love this. I love that Sabine was able to give him this gift.
I love this photo.
Aww.
You should draw this. I think if you were going to draw something,
I have. Oh, it would make a good pano
sketch card, or
a triptych.
I don't know how you'd cut it exactly, but even if you took the 3 characters individually, like Ephraim, Mira, Ezra. Right?
Yeah, like make it like a family portrait. Oh, that's such a good idea.
That could be cool.
I was wondering what I was going to do for those. I have a bunch.
Yeah. I think we got all of those voice actors because Kath Soucie's the mom. I'm blanking right now on who did the dad. I'd have to look it up. But I never got to do that triple because I never got to do my finale Star Wars Rebels product. And that's a whole other, like, as you think about the things, do you struggle with this, like not having closure in certain ways where it's like, damn, I just wanted to do that thing and I just have to put pen to paper. Like one time I wasn't even working at Topps anymore and I wrote out like a whole product description for what the Star Wars Rebels finale set was going to look like using the format we used at work and everything. And I was like, this is what it includes. I started writing out like dual autographs and I knew we were going to do, like, it had a whole mess of things, including like a triple with those 3.
I'd be like, sign me up. Like they're missing an opportunity to do this because Rebels is hot right now. Like, what are you guys waiting for?
It is. Well, it is. I think they're staying current. Yeah, current and like full saga and casing legacy is what I'm noticing. Right. Like Chrome, Masterwork, I think is an annual event for them.
Yes, so, that's like to me that's for the best of the best, and I know and they're not as picky as they used to be with it anymore, but it's still one of my favorite sets to work on because the card stock is so good on those thick cards.
Yeah,
I mean the panos and the triptychs not so much, but they come out so good, so I'm really excited to be back to work on those. It's my first set of the year after everything.
Ooh. So, good, get back in the game, girl. Yeah. So what did everyone think of what I call Empire Day Part 2, Gathering of Forces? I think it's a good I think it's not just like a good part 2, but it is a good standalone episode, and it gives us good information about Ezra's family that we've wanted for a little while, that they've teased for us, but they didn't like give us every little bit. They gave us just enough. Like I feel fed but not full.
Right. And we don't have all the answers, but we're on the right track. Yeah. And when Hera was going to go talk to him and tell him what she found out from Sivo, Kanan just kind of tells her like he needs a minute. He's been through a lot today. And then I think Sabine bringing him that little disc that she cleaned up for him and giving him that little piece of strength, like your parents are still here in some way. You're fighting for them. Like kind of refocus him and get him past the trauma of what happened in the day and a reminder of what he's fighting for. So it was really cool that she just kind of was like telling him it was okay without, giving him that information and overwhelming him further.
Yeah. And that's something Sabine knows how to connect with him because they're similar in age, but she's miles beyond him in terms of maturity and just emotional capability. She's on it. But good bonding with Kanan. I think it's about 16 at this point. It's not quite a year since the series started, but we're definitely we're nearing the end of season 1, and a lot of growth happens in that season. He certainly starts to feel at this point like a different character, like the arc is moving more for him than any other character, of course, because he's like the growth driver for the show. But even Sabine, and we see Kanan progressing tremendously, moving into Jedi master territory from just like going from like individual contributor to manager. Like he's making that promotion bump, Kanan. So that's exciting to see.
Yes, Sarah. He faces fear of the truth, let go of the past, and connected with his new family. Epic writing.
Yeah, it's huge.
Totally huge.
Huge. Let go of the past is always the thing they tell you. You have to stay mindful of like the moment you're in, the present, and think about the future, but don't let that overwhelm you. And then, facing fear is like such a Star Wars thing, right? Because it's like overcoming fear and understanding what your fear drivers are, but like how you manage that and not let yourself lead to anger. Because Ezra got really angry, and that's what led to the like sicking that giant creature on the Inquisitor, which was actually like quite helpful. So sometimes it's like, all right, anger's not so bad.
Just learn how to project it in a healthy way.
Yeah,
yes, Michael.
Exactly.
Season 1 started on. It's read about Empire Day, so he is 15 during the season.
Yeah, he's born on Unification Day. So Empire Day. He's a few days older than Luke and Leia because they're born just a few days right after the first Unification Day, Unification Day 0. And then this is, I guess he's 15, right? 14 or 15. It's all kind of this, 15. Honestly, they're children, is what I'm constantly screaming at the show. I was like, how dare you give them this level of responsibility? They are not old enough to buy a beer. Like it is very that.
Like, what's the drinking age in a galaxy far, far away? Are they old enough for it? They shouldn't be fighting.
You know what's interesting? We never see alcohol in Rebels. There is an episode of Clone Wars, and I've watched it on the watch along with the boys on Thursday, where Duchess Satine is going to have a drink with someone, and it's in a martini glass, which we make fun of the martini glass because it's very Earth. And there's also like a captain's wheel in that same episode. It's like one of those things where like too many Earth things ended up on this ship. Like alcohol is in a couple of Clone Wars episodes, and they sometimes serve like drinks that look like they might be alcoholic to adults, but like I don't think we ever see it in Rebels.
It was definitely an Andor this week, though. So.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And I love that they have caffeine and painkillers. That would be me. I'd be there with my caffeine, like just shaking, trying to figure out like my response plan, which I'm very excited to see. We're going to see it on Thursday from my favorite lady. That's going to be bonkers when Deirdre like presents to the crew and like points out all these things that are definitely not random. And everyone's just like, boo, we hate you because you're a woman. Like, we're going to see that. It's going to be very that.
They're carrying on with that theme like straight through from like House of the Dragon to this. Like, women aren't really listened to in Star Wars unless they really have to get up and make some noise like Leia and Mon Mothma, like behind the scenes.
People didn't like Leia. She was divisive. The people we knew liked her, but she was divisive out in the galaxy.
Oh yeah.
Crazy. All right, let's
Hondo
jump into
usually
episode 2.
has booze.
Yeah.
Well,
oh yes.
yeah.
Hondo does.
Hondo
in
has
Rebels,
all the rum.
I don't know in Rebels if he did, but I'm gonna see episodes. I'm sure he did. We just didn't see it on screen, and it speaks to like how the show's just like a little bit younger, like the tiniest bit. All right,
Yeah,
we are jumping into the
spoil House of the Dragon because it was last night. We're not gonna ruin that for anybody. We want to give a couple days, but yeah, phenomenal episode. Oh my god, girl power. Anyway,
I will watch in about 2 to 3 years.
I'm telling you,
that.
It's been good. Okay,
let's get into Idiot's Array. One of my favorites.
We're gonna play some sabacc with Mr. Calrissian. So,
all right, you count it down.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play.
And this is season 1, episode 11, Idiot's Array, starring the incomparable Billy D. Williams, who I've met numerous times. He signed for us at Tops all the time. Brought him to Celebration in 2017 and 2019. He would have been there in 2020, I'm sure. He's a delight. He is as like cool and smooth and like smooth is the word, like charming. He's just a charming man. Like everyone who met him is just like, you're just so cool. And he's like 80 something years old. It doesn't go away.
Yeah, he's like
81. That kind of mojo.
Yeah. Infinitely
it's
cool.
Still with him.
I love how Chopper is like watching Zeb play sabacc and he's like, no, when he loses. Oh,
you have to cheat at sabacc is I think the lesson in all of this. Otherwise, like, yeah. And Chopper should be like, there should be an earpiece from Chopper to someone.
Oh no.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, we can't lose, and we need the credits. Oh boy.
Hera's gonna kill you. He's like, what?
So Pablo talks about in Rebels Recon how they brought this to life and got the real rules from Pablo Hidalgo. Dave talks about it and got the rules from Pablo Hidalgo and the rest of the crew and figured out like what cards to have. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, the old smoothie.
I'd be so pissed. Oh my god, Hera's gonna strangle someone.
Yes. Oh my god. I love how Sabine designed the Chopper's not happy. Sabine designed the outcrop of old Joe's bar. You can see it's like pieces of a ship that's like painted and very cool.
That's neat. That Hera immediately knows that Lando is a schemer and not to be trusted, and this man's a problem. Without a doubt. She's like, I've met 1,000 of you and bested them probably in every way. Oh boy. Return our droid.
He looks nervous. He looks so nervous. Chopper hates everybody.
How about it giving them Zeb? Like,
yeah.
Sorry, Steve, but like, you messed this up.
Way to go.
We should go.
I just gotta. It's gonna plug in my MacBook. So 1 second.
All right, I'll keep everyone entertained while we watch. I get like mesmerized by Lando's character. I just love him. I think that he is such an integral part of all of Star Wars. The original trilogy, he came in Empire Strikes Back, and obviously a huge part in that movie, and Return of the Jedi. He helped blow up the second Death Star, and then they've just kept adding him to all these other stories. Like, he's a major player in the Solo movie. He's in numerous books and comics. He's just really part of like the core four of the original trilogy, and then to see him pop up in Rebels was, I feel like, almost the original trilogy giving like a stamp of approval to this little cartoon. They were like, we're going to give you Billy D in like not some voice sound alike guy. We're going to bring in the Billy D as the Lando Calrissian, and tie into his mining operation, which becomes like a major plot point of Empire Strikes Back, the most critically acclaimed movie in the series, to lend some like credibility and a little bit of like a gravitas to the show. I was like, oh wow, we really know real people. Like we've seen Bail Organa, who's a prequel character and the father of Leia, but this is one of the core four. We meet Leia, for a hot minute. We see Luke as a shadow. Obi-Wan pops in season 3 quickly, but like this guest appearance was a big deal. And I remember them like all over Star Wars YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Rebels Recon. I felt this felt like an event.
It was.
Garazeb, yes, full name. You're in trouble when Hera calls you by your full name.
Yeah.
Lando,
he's like, don't you smooch on my girlfriend.
No, Lord. He shouldn't be hitting on Sabine, but I don't think it's that. I think it's like he's working a deal of some sort and knows that she knows what's up. The writers are too smart to. It's just you can't help but be almost like accidentally flirting because you're Lando. Like it's everything. He's just so charismatic. Like if you were gonna build his character traits in like D&D and everywhere else, like you max out on charisma, and then all the other things just fall underneath. And it's like, oh, you're terrible at this skill. Oh well, you're very attractive, sir. Someone will just do that for you. Like I feel like he gets that kind of leeway from people, guys and girls and droids. Like, and I don't even think he's like flirting intentionally with anyone, but even with Han, they have this like very flirty, broy, like, they have to constantly outdo each other, but there's like a lot of love behind it too.
Exactly. And it's because they've been in so many scrapes together.
Yeah. They've definitely been through some like crazy stuff. And that they can depend on each other beyond anyone else. When I first met Hondo, it occurred to me that like Hondo was their attempt at creating a Lando for the Clone Wars, because they couldn't use Lando, like the age wouldn't line up, and they were like, oh, we need like a smooth, fast talking pirate who like everyone secretly loves, even though he's like kind of a villain. And like Hondo became that guy. Like everyone like secretly kind of loves Hondo, even though he should absolutely be in prison. And now he's like a character at Galaxy's Edge, like welcoming you to the ride. Like that's crazy.
As Morgan, the great James Hong.
He's fantastic. Oh, that's right. Lando was confirmed as pansexual. There's been a little bit of like these like breadcrumbs of LGBTQ representation. It seems like the ladies were confirmed to be in a relationship. As much as like confirmed is confirmed. And then we've got Lando apparently like hooking up with his droid. Was as interesting as that got. And I guess Holdo in the books talks about how she's attracted to all alien types. And like Leia makes it very clear that she's interested in human men. So like I was like, oh right, because like human versus alien, I didn't even think of that. So we're not even talking about like gender. We're talking about like, oh, are you interested in aliens? So there's like an XY axis on this nonsense where it's like, are we attracted to only other humans, or I guess within your species? And then from there you talk gender. I guess so. You can plot like a graph, like an XY axis, which is like one of my favorite tools of like measuring data. I'm curious. We have to like plot everyone now. That'll be a whole chore.
That'll be another watch along.
Yes, exactly. We'll do it once we're really out of ideas. We'll start the listicles of like who might be possibly queer, and it'll be like this like 97% heterosexual, and there's this one episode where like Sabine's kind of flirting with that girl, and it's like confirmed. So we're really gonna just it's gonna be very that.
Her and Ketsu.
Yes, Ketsu. That's who I was thinking of. Gina Torres from Firefly.
Love her. Oh my god.
Yeah, excellent. I see it comes back to Firefly constantly. I rewatched some Buffy recently, despite my no Whedon rule. And I forgot how it even started. But the show just really holds up. It's like weirdly timeless and yet also so of the moment. Like it's like, oh, this is so 90s and also like perfectly relevant for today. It's weird.
Oh yeah, it's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
I
like
still
this
haven't
character.
even. Okay, I'm horrible, but I still haven't even finished Buffy. I think I left off on season 3. I'm sorry.
No!
My friend David will absolutely kill me for it, but like,
there's
but yeah,
so much great content, though. I get it.
I
Like,
have the
people
box
look
set.
at me like
I have the box set, and I bought Firefly when it was like $10 on Amazon, and Serenity, and I just watched it last year. So I'm getting there. It's just
yep,
a matter of getting
it's a
there.
chore.
Yeah.
And you got to unpack and build these shelves. Like, it's a whole
But
thing.
I've watched The
I love Hera
Sandman
just
20
like
times. Yeah.
I get that. Hera violently assaulting that guy was awesome.
Yes.
I love that kind of quick sort of, she's not to be messed with. It's a little silly because it's like a serving tray.
Like, she's just like, yeah, whatever.
She infiltrates like Grand Admiral Thrawn's throne room, like in the ship, in a similar way, where she's like under the radar and being underestimated. She seems to put being underestimated to her advantage. And again, excellent pilot. She's out of there.
Get it, girl.
Yep.
And they're right there to pick her up.
Yeah, and throw him out of it.
Oh, he's mad now. He was scared of Hera when he sold Chopper, but don't get Hera into the mix.
Yeah. If I were gonna pick sides, like, if you're gonna start drafting a team, who do you want on your team of like Star Wars people? Hera is easily like a round 1 draft pick. Like, we need a pilot, bam, like without a doubt. If we're gonna go against, like, we need a Jedi. Kanan's not my first Jedi pick, just because like we've got other like super qualified Jedi who also are willing to bend the rules, like an Obi-Wan or a Plo Koon. But like, if we're going pure pilot, it's Hera all the way.
Totally. I would pick her more so than Han, to be honest.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. He could be my second round draft pick. If you don't want Han, if you don't want Hera, we'll take Han. Like, that'll be our. Can you imagine that? We're gonna go straight to Twitter, be like, if we can't get Hera, I guess we'll take Han as our pilot. People will lose their minds.
What? Oh my god. Yeah.
I don't know where Zeb would fall. There's a lot of good muscle out there. I'd prefer Chewie. Oh my god, the puffer pig. I can't get enough of these guys.
And it's the crate that's at the creature shop.
Yeah, Galaxy's Edge, right? In the marketplace.
Yep.
So you have to not scare these guys because they like expand and cause chaos. Apparently, according to Rebels Recon, there was supposed to be a slightly different baby version of like the model. It turns out they just took like the adult and shrunk it, which was fine. We wouldn't know, but they told us that there was a baby puffer pig that they were working on and it didn't get finished. Oh my god, I'm not scaring her as he's screaming it. Oh Jesus, look at that thing.
Oh my god.
That's insane.
Ah!
What is going on?
Stuck in the hallway until it stops looking at you.
we need one of those along with like the Loth cats. That could also be part of our listicle of creatures we love.
Oh, I love Loth cats. I want a Loth cat tattoo.
Oh, that'd be a good tattoo.
So bad. I want to make a Rebels tattoo and just get it on my arm.
I think I need the Phoenix symbol, like the Phoenix Rebel symbol, because I've wanted a Star Wars thing for a long time, if for nothing else, just to acknowledge the fact that I've been a part of this franchise for so long and I work in it, and it's now like bled into my personal life in a way that I did not anticipate. But
and
Rebels
unlike
in particular,
J.K. Rowling, it will not let you down.
Yeah, well, it is. There's 45 creators, so even if one of them, like Gina Carano, was kicked out of the franchise, right? Like, one director could go rogue and do something terrible, and it's like, well, that's not George Lucas, and it's not Disney, and it's not the franchise. Whereas, like, she is the franchise, unfortunately. So, you can't like pick. Oh, we're gonna follow these books, and we're gonna play this video game. We're gonna make this product. If you don't align with her, and it's hard. You can't really separate. Whereas like Star Wars, we got plenty of, I'm sure there are some voice actors that we don't know things about, or some actors from the shows we don't know things about, that maybe we don't want to know about, but there's thousands of them. And it's not all one person.
So it is a Corellian ship. So the Ghost was made on Corellia.
Oh, there you go. Similar to, well, I guess that's Han's home planet, but that wasn't where the Falcon was made, was it?
It was a YT. Yeah, I think it was.
I need to look this up. I'm terrible when it comes to like this is the kind of information that like if I don't have the Wikipedia in front of me, I could not tell you. But it's right, like the Falcon feels like a spiritual successor to, or the Ghost feels like a spiritual successor to the Falcon.
Hmm.
They're
Oh
very
no.
similar in design.
Oh no. That stupid puffer pig.
I feel like there needs to be like a game, like a mobile game almost to help answer Michael's question. Like how would you
Yeah.
pit like a Hera against a Han versus a Poe? You know, I'm sure like the reference material books would tell you, you know, Poe's the best pilot in the Resistance, which is like a pretty decent sized fleet. But was Hera the best pilot in the Rebel Alliance? Because that's a bigger group. But are all the pilots in the Resistance inherently better than the Rebel Alliance because they've got like a generation of training and there's
Yeah.
better technology? And what if they're all flying the same ship? Like, how do you, and you know, and Han like figured out how to make the Falcon move and fly and get super fast and all that stuff. Like, is that a different type of flight style than like, could he pilot an X-Wing? Like, this is where it's like, choose your ship, choose your pilot. There's all these like pushes and pulls, but they're,
But we have enough
you know,
proof that Hera can fly anything, like even
that's
experimental
true.
ships. And
Yes,
we've
she did
only
the
seen
TIE
Han,
Defender.
the B
Yeah,
Wing.
the B
So
Wing. That's what it was. Yeah, she didn't fly
mhm.
the TIE Defender. She shot it down with Hera with Ezra. Yeah, she flies the Ghost. She flies an X-wing. She flies a B Wing. She's been a bunch of different things. But you're right. Han has
Ah,
his freighter, and he has in the Force Awakens, and he has the Millennium Falcon. I'm sure he's flown other ships. He must have been when he was in the Navy. I'm sure that he did some other ships too.
I love how Hera's telling Lando, like, this is exactly how it's gonna go. Let my crew do their jobs.
Yeah, this is
It
their
was
expertise.
it was your
Yeah.
face's fault.
Now look at this. All right, Millennium Falcon, designated YT, et cetera, et cetera. Stellar Envoy, Corellian YT 1300 light freighter. And I guess the Ghost is also Corellian. Okay,
Mhm.
that makes a lot of sense. It's like they're both Chevys. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh, this guy again.
you have oh yeah, and Vizago's in the mix too. We have so
Yep.
many like weird little criminals. Um, that's why this background and this set piece looks familiar. Episode 3 is when we first meet Scatra Vizago.
I'd be more afraid of that guy than Zeb's face. Like, geez.
Yeah, these little pigs are so important. There's something about that, right? Where like Rebels really makes the wildlife an important part of Star Wars. Maybe I'm reaching on this, but like the puffer pigs, the purrgils, those little creatures that we saw as we're connecting with the dark creatures on the moon in the last episode.
Yeah.
The Loth wolves, which we find out the Loth cats, like all of them really play an important role, like in the Force and like the larger story arcs, plot devices, but also like in the case of Lando, he's using these pigs to mine. So there's like a real economic and societal impact of these cute little
Yeah.
creatures, you know.
And I love how, like, Dave is such a proponent for like animal rights and you know conservation, and that's why so many of these animals are in the show.
Yeah. Did you just see Ezra use his lightsaber to shoot that guy?
Yeah, he did.
It was clearly like a stunner. So he's not shooting to kill, but and Kanan goes, mine doesn't do that. That's amazing. I love him
Because you
with
didn't build it that way, Kanan. Come
you know,
on.
the blaster saber is one of the best inventions in Rebels. Like as we think about the various weapons and ships
Yes.
and all the stuff they've done, like that blaster saber is amazing.
Especially considering in the last episode, Kanan was fighting the Inquisitor with both a blaster and a lightsaber.
Yeah.
He was holding his own. He still out, hands down, the Inquisitor should wipe the floor with him.
It's like a beach ball gone awry.
Yeah. Sabine had some good jump in there. You know how there's suspicion sometimes that like Sabine has the Force? Like a little clip like that would make you wonder. You know, she
Yeah.
really timed those jumps like perfectly.
Oh no.
Oh, this guy. How do you let this guy sneak up on you, Zeb?
Come on.
That's when you use the force and you just like push him into the stratosphere.
Mhm.
They're like, sure.
Even
take
better.
Chopper to the rescue.
Not a kill, but an assault nonetheless, which we appreciate.
He's got a couple of those. He's just waving at Zeb like, hey.
Mike, speaking of Batman and Robin, Alicia Silverstone is going to be at Rhode Island Comic Con. And I, as a clueless fanatic, and Breckin Meyer is going to be there. I'm going to bring my vinyl soundtrack to Clueless, and I think I'm going to get them to sign that. Because like I don't have a poster, and I think like at this point, how many posters can I have in my home? Whereas we like have the vinyl, like that's weird. So it's like that, and that's also frameable. Yeah, I have a lot of frame vinyl around, and that's much more doable than another poster. I'm also going to bring my Star Wars Rebels poster for Keone Young to sign. He'll be my one add-on to that. That piece is like not quite nearing completion, but it's the percentage is getting to the point where I have to be choiceful about who I'm adding. Like I'll put Phil Lamar on there and a few others, but like it's not going to be many more signatures that make it onto that piece.
Chopper's like, nah.
And now they have a new friend in Billy D or Lando.
Yeah.
He comes back in season 4 as part of like the motley crew of like co-conspirators.
He's good at coming back at the end.
Yeah. So yeah, nothing wasted in the series, as we always say.
Bow.
Well, I didn't pay them.
He's flexing. Yep.
A gambler never shows his cards. Isn't that so fun? I just love that stupid episode.
I would really hope,
and cards and Lando.
Yeah, I would really hope that if Billy D were to come to like Rhode Island or another con, like he would have a Rebels Billy D, Rebels Lando on his table, because I would have him sign that.
We had 1 or 2 for him at Celebration 2019 because of course I did all the photos and I know he had something from Rebels, but he also brought a lot of his own stuff, which we were okay with because he's Billy D and he can kind of do what he wants.
Right.
But people really wanted his episode 9. So I think we were able to get like a posed shot of him, you know, in his.
And that was a huge return too. Like him in live action, because he's been in the Lego movies, he's been in this. He's never been in the live action so far. So
yeah, he wasn't in 7 or 8. And then he had a return. He returned for 9, and then Ian McDermott returned for 9. They brought back as many people as I think they physically could. Obviously, Mark came back, and they still had all that footage of Carrie that they were able to use. You know, it wasn't enough, obviously, and we should have gotten a lot more of like Leia's story in 9, which is really sad that it ended up the way it did. But it was nice to see them bring back as many people as they could, including Wedge. Wedge makes it back for episode
Dennis,
9. Like,
Dennis's actual voice, and
yep,
that was worth nice it for me alone. Like I drew him on a card first thing for Rise of Skywalker. I was like,
oh, that's awesome.
He's in this. I'm gonna use it.
Yeah. I like it. Dennis Lawson is good people. In fact, everyone I just named terrific. So no complaints there.
Yeah.
We finished our 2 episodes before 10 o'clock. That I feel like it's a minor miracle.
Yeah.
We do want to let everyone know what's coming up because we have a lot coming up. So what's happening Thursday? There's another watch along this week. It must be for Andor season or episode 7, right?
7, right?
Okay. Are you a part of Jeff? Tell everyone what's happening Thursday.
So it'll be me, Dave, Spencer, and Kat should be with us.
The Motley Crew, they're back.
You didn't make it last week, unfortunately, but you know, things happen. So you know, that's the plan, is to have us 4 together watching Andor and talking about it. especially ideally for the rest of the season. We'll see how things evolve. It was good to have Ashley on and you as well previous weeks. So.
Oh, thanks. Good to be on there.
So that's basically what's up with Thursday. Just
and then there was just an episode.
Done 6 more episodes.
And they just did an episode of Jedi Archives, I believe, last Sunday. So does that mean this Sunday we've got Unifying Force?
That is correct.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the subject matter is, but they're always very interesting and in depth in whatever they talk about. So tomorrow we have a happy hour as usual on Zoom.
Right.
We'll be talking about.
I've yet to make it to a single happy hour. It is embarrassing.
But we're usually in there for a few hours. But nice. We'll be talking about everything and anything that's anybody is interested in, from Andor to She-Hulk to Celebration stuff to whatever. So that's always fun to join in on.
That would be a good place to talk about Celebration planning, travel, etc.
Yeah.
It's a good
surge.
It's a good place to do it.
Voltage adapters and the currency exchange, all that stuff. It's all very dry and boring, but super helpful,
Like one of those power adapter things was a post recently, I think.
I saw that. Spencer posted the 2-pack. That was very helpful.
From Amazon, so you can make sure you're good to go.
Oh, good. I have to double check that I still have all my stuff because I haven't been overseas in a couple of years. Everyone should look into things like that as they think about their planning.
I've never been, but I have family there, so.
Worst case scenario, and there'll be enough people too, and also we're going to a modern country with stores that are equivalent to Target. So I always tell people one time I went on vacation and forgot to buy socks, and you know what? I bought socks when I got there. And don't forget the important things. If you're an artist, bring your art. Bring your laptop. You can always get a voltage adapter while you're there. It's better to plan for this stuff ahead of time so you're not gouged on prices and stuff like that.
Totally.
But ultimately, and for anyone who's truly nervous about travel, everyone there speaks English. This is, you don't have to learn another language. London is not that different from New York. They have a train system, and there are cabs. They have Uber. It's not that I'm saying you should use Uber, but there are cabs and there are ways of getting around. And by the way, everything happens in the convention center. You won't even know you're in London. It's like when I go to Rhode Island, it may as well be Wichita. You're in the convention center the whole time.
Yeah.
So I would say the things to stress about are weirdly more so about money. Just can you find a decent price flight? And and hotel. The rest of it is easy breezy.
But what's very cool about this celebration is basically I believe it's 2 tube stops away is the location for Rogue One scene where they were in that
that's right,
that base. So there's also other things happening around that location as well that will be
that's exciting,
announced or have been teased.
Sarah says we lived in England for 4 years. Hit me up if you have questions. Thanks, Sarah. That's really, really helpful.
And I'm sure there are some British people in the larger Facebook group. I feel like this would be a good, as we get closer to the show, but also those Tuesday happy hours are a great place for this.
I've been picking Carolyn Craig's brain because she's a fellow Tops artist and she lives in the UK. So I'm okay, so if I do this, so bugging her with questions, kind of getting a feel for the things. So
nice. It's exciting that we're already talking about it because it is 6 months away. So already means we're late. I have to start making money decisions of booth and all that stuff very soon, which is crazy. And then we'll be talking about San Diego Comic-Con sent the application, by the way, for the booth, the Monday of after we got back. And I was girl, give it a day. The show just ended. I was like, oh my God, someone else look at this. It wasn't due immediately, but it's the kind of thing where it's I don't want to think about San Diego Comic-Con 2023,
Oh my God. And my friend went to the volunteers thank you dinner or thank you party that they had last night, and the line was ridiculous to get in. I'm even in the the volunteer party, you're still standing in lines at San Diego
Oh, of course.
Comic-Con.
Yeah, there's no escape. You'll die in this line. That should be the title of my autobiography. You'll die in this line, the Mark Von story. Whether it's a theme park or a convention, because I go to a lot of small scale conventions that don't have like the scale that like Epic does. Like Epic for photo ops will put you in a time bucket. You go to some like rinky dink convention where there's like 20 guests and like a couple thousand attendees, and like you could literally get stuck behind someone who's having a 10-minute conversation with the D-list actor that you want to talk to, and it's like, damn it, I just want my autograph, like, and a quick selfie. I'm willing to pay the $60, but I'm not willing to stand here for hours, and that's the problem. Yeah, but Rhode Island actually runs really well, so that one is
I'm
not
so excited.
One where you die in a line.
And it's soon. It's coming up.
Yeah. So let's very quickly hit what's coming up. So tomorrow, happy hour. Everyone join on Tuesday. I'm never there, but other people should be. It's a great conversation.
Go have Thursday, fun, discuss.
Yes.
Thursday.
Join the three amigos and Catherine on Thursday for the watch along of Andor episode 7. Then Unifying Force over the weekend with Dave and Kat, and there's a third host whose name I'm blanking on. Jeff.
Geo.
And then we're back on Monday with Kat as a very special guest, because Ashley, tell everyone where you're going.
Okay, Monday I will be at Universal Studios Orlando because I am working Spooky Empire with my friend Brian Fife. We'll have 2 booths on the floor. So if you're down in Orlando at Spooky Empire, come by, come say hi, come buy some spooky art. But we'll be in Universal Studios all day on Monday. And then Tuesday, we're doing Epcot and the Magic Kingdom for the Not So Scary Halloween party. So I will have my costume for that. I'm working really hard on it. Very excited. And then I should be back on Wednesday, just in time for Halloween.
That's awesome.
Really excited.
I am super happy for you. That's going to be a great trip.
Thanks.
So while Ashley is away, Catherine is going to fill in, and we're going to do our Ahsoka appreciation show in prep for Tales of the Jedi, which drops next Wednesday. And then Ashley comes back for our Halloween. We have a pre-record happening, our spooky episode. We're going to watch Visions and Voices with the Night Sisters and some ghosts. There's ghosts and zombies.
And possessions.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun. And green evil magic and all sorts of fun stuff. So Ashley will be back for that. That'll be a pre-record. We will put that live Monday, the 31st, Halloween. I hope you're out enjoying Halloween, and then you can watch us during the week. And then after that, it's November, and oh my God, it's November. Like that. Yeah.
And then
that's how I'm thinking of that.
The panic begins.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because after that we'll be at Rhode Island Comic-Con, and then that Monday we come back, we'll have to do a recap of Rhode Island Comic-Con. So yeah, that's everything on the calendar that's going on, which is very exciting. So
that's awesome.
A lot going on here. I think that's it for tonight, though.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for chatting with us and offering some fun little observations from the episodes. And we look forward to having you guys every week. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah. We'll see you next Monday. Bye, everyone. Have a good night.
May the Force be with you.